I don't hope I didn't scare you guys. Well, not we're all over the world, but like
Everyone, can give me a thumbs up. Ready, James, on your team whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Yo soy aquí para usted. Let's go. Okay, boss. All right, mics are hot. All right. Uh-oh. Nobody go to the bathroom. I'm just kidding. All right, we are live. All right, all right. Hey, Jay, I'm also going to need that. WVON family. Okay. I keep forgetting I got to talk in the mic so they can hear me. WVON family. Hey, it's JP. You're listening to the 1921 radio show. It's only, even though we're only on once a week, I swear every time I come back, it feels like we've been gone for over a month. So I miss you guys, and I hope you're enjoying this. And where did Dr. Oh, there we go. I got to bring you on here. There you are. Okay. I was like, she's not on the screen. I know, but people are like, where is the doctor you're talking about? I'm like, there really is a doctor here, I promise. So my name is James Parker. You're listening to the 1921 radio show on WVON AM 1690, the best and smartest and brightest listeners. You're also watching live on Facebook, YouTube, and Restream, and this will be broadcast on Roku TV to tens of thousands of people. And we're talking about Mental Health Awareness Month. Really should be Mental Health Awareness Year with everything that's going on. But I'm excited. This is our last show of the month, but we will continue to talk about mental health because it is so important. But we have some incredible guests, and we're going to jump right into it right away. I'm going to read off a little bit of information that I got right here. I don't have any sound effects, so I gotta make some here. We're low budget, okay? So we have Dr. Tanya Battle, a licensed clinical psychologist, and I believe you are the founder of Battle Clinical Services. Absolutely. Alrighty. She has more than 15 years of expertise in the treatment of adolescents and young adults and depression, anxiety, trauma, and learning disorders. We have Sophia. I just have Sophia P. Is that okay? Sophia. Yeah. Can you say your last name for me? Pazis. Okay, that was my next guess. I was gonna guess that one. I was like, that's what it is. She's a student at De La Salle Institute in Chicago. Is that De La Salle High School or? So my son is a junior there. He just finished. He just had fun. Yeah, I was like De La Salle. I didn't know if that was. I always call it De La Salle. I didn't realize it was De La Salle Institute in Chicago. I mean, they're getting my money, so I probably should know that, right? And so, well, my wife's like, she's over all that stuff, right? I just be like, how much, right? So that's so cool. My son's a junior. He just had his last day of finals. He's super excited. What year are you? Oh, congratulations! I was there. No, I was there for the junior thing where they walked the juniors in, and so you guys, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, all right. So she won first place in the media arts category with the entry entitled "My Sister." I love that. And rounding out, we have, oh my God, where did it go? I know what it is, right? It is Lauren Stone. So we have Lauren Stone. She is the director of community affairs at Walgreens. And we were talking earlier, one of my favorite stores. And I'm not just saying that because she's on here. I'm saying that because they're open 24/7, 365 days. And I have a junior who a couple times last year was like, Dad, I totally forgot. You're going to kill me. I need this. And I was able to run to Walgreens at 11 o'clock at night and get this stuff and pick up some candy that I probably didn't need so he can finish his art project. So I love Walgreens. And again, I'm not just saying it. You guys have been a lifesaver. So thank you all for all coming on. Lauren, I know we have a short amount of time here. So can you please, let us know your role, what you do in the community, and how it ties into what we're doing tonight, what we're talking about tonight? Yep. Mhm. Mm. Hmm. Oh, good. I love that. And we already know that teens are some of the most expressive people, period. All right. I mean, so this is a great tie in. I love that. So, Sophia, how did this happen? How did you get tied in there? Like, what made you, how were you able to come up with this incredible piece called My Sister? What was the impetus behind that? Hmm. Okay. Sure. Oh, whoa. Okay. How can we get a copy of this? All right. I'm trying to buy everything from you right now. Okay. Oh. All right. Can you say the what is it on? What is the website again, so we can make sure all of our listeners know? Okay. Okay. Good. Right. No problem. Okay, that'd be great. And Sophia, how long have you been in the arts? How long would you say you've been intrigued by the arts and things like that? Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Directing as a passion. I love it. I need a 5 by 10 autograph real quick. I mean, not now, but just sign it and fax it or email it over. That is so awesome. Now, what do you hope to accomplish from your art? Okay. You can make some here in Chicago, but I understand. I understand. I understand. Um, So that's interesting. I own a little bit about me. I own a tech co-working and incubator space, and we are going to green room one of the spaces in my building. And we were before COVID hit, we were in talks. We were about to start talks with Columbia College for their film and television to give the students credit shooting commercials for small businesses. So you would get credit, you get everything. Small businesses would get this incredibly cool commercial to promote their business. You would get incredible experience. So when you graduated, you could say, I've done 30 commercials, and things like that. So I will make sure I'll talk to Stacia to make sure we stay in touch because you can get some of your chops done at our building just doing commercials and directing them. And the small businesses will be like, whatever you say. So that's so cool. Now, Lauren, Walgreens, what made Walgreens? I know we talked a little bit about mental health and things like that, but what was the impetus for getting this going? Because this sounds amazing. Okay. 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 Hmm. Hmm. This is incredible. My son was in college during COVID in Florida, and I'm watching NBC nightly news with Lester Holt, and I'm hearing parents say that their child was away at college. They're not at home, and they attempted suicide. Right, and the parents were like, I never knew that. I saw like 10 minutes of that and I was like, hey, Cameron, pack your bags. You're flying back home. Right. And he's not that kind of kid, who would get down. But if these parents didn't know, and I know my kid and they know their kid, oh, he was on the next plane. Like literally, we flew him back. We're still paying his apartment while he's up here, but I wanted to make sure he was at home. So I find this fantastic that Walgreens is doing something like this because a lot of the young people and even adults have never experienced anything where you are shut off from society. Basically, you could feel that way. No friends, you can't see your friends, and video chat only goes so far. After a while, you need that human interaction. Human interaction is how we're met, how we're made. So, Walgreens, that's just awesome that someone even thought about that to do that, and I applaud you guys for that. And I'm so excited to hear that Walgreens, especially a store that I shop at all the time, is doing something. At least I know where my money's going somewhere. You know what I mean? For great programs. Oh well, that is so cool. Anybody in Hyde Park? No, oh, darn it. That would have been great. But what was the website, Lauren? I knew you were looking that up. www.expressionchallenge.com. I'm going to see if I can put that. Uh, And how long does this go on? Is this just the first annual one or second, or is this kind of all through the year? Okay, right there. Whoa. Mhm. Wow. Last question, Lauren, because I know you have to run. What kind of prizes will the winner receive? We already know they're going to be featured in Walgreens, which is awesome. And I'm trying to buy some art and hire directors. But what are some of the things that they can receive? Whoa. I love that. Okay. And chocolate. See how I hooked you up there, Sophia? I got you a bag. Well, with everything that's going on, and Lauren, I know you may have to go. I want to get Dr. Battle in here because I feel like that ties in. Okay, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, Lauren, we are launching a news article website, and I want to do a story on you and Sophia and Expressions Challenge. Okay, so I'll make sure I talk to Stacy to make sure we stay in contact. Okay, and so I'll reach out to her tomorrow, and then we'll get your information. We'll get you the stuff. We'll write this article, and we're launching it in June. We've got people from NBC, athletes, everyone will be looking at this. So I think this will be fantastic. Okay. You got it. All right, Sophia, you stay on. I have a couple more questions for you. I got to buy your art. I got to buy something from you. Uh, Dr. Battle, why are we seeing an increase in depression and mental health rising in teens?
That is a complex question. The rise in mental health issues has been happening actually pre-COVID.
Okay.
And the research is pretty conflictual.
Okay.
A lot of people say, or researchers have indicated that it's on the rise because of increased access to information,
Okay.
information overload.
Sure.
So I don't want to say, I don't want to demonize like social media because
Sure.
there's a lot of good things that come from it. But over the last 10 years, the things that teens have had to deal with have been information overload, trying to figure out how to navigate this current society. So
Okay.
you think back like 20, 30 years ago, they were just having to deal with not just, but
Right.
dealing with like pubescent things,
Sure.
like puberty and all of that, teen pregnancy, STDs, all that stuff. And what we've noticed is over the last 10 years, those things have been decreasing. So those, teen drinking and all of that.
Mhm.
But the internalizing things have been increasing.
Okay.
And so, and the internalizing things are like anxiety, depression, identity issues, conflicts with parents,
Mhm.
all kinds of things like that. So the increase has been, some say it's because of the information issues.
Mhm.
Then moving into COVID, a lot of people have said, that isolative,
Mhm.
well, we all had to isolate.
Right. Right.
That just like blew everything up.
Wow.
Issues with teens feeling like they're not connecting with family,
Okay.
and parents don't understand them, and those things.
That
So
sounds like a song. Parents
right,
just
right.
don't understand.
I think it is.
Wow. So, Sophia, during that time, because if you're a senior now, you went through that period of COVID. What made you, what made you kind of lean? Well, you were already in the arts, but how did you figure out this is what's going to help me? And I hate to say, because everyone's different, stay sane, for lack of a better phrase. But what helped you, or how did you know this is what I need to do right now so that I don't go that route? Okay. Mm. Mhm. Oh, cool. Okay. Gotcha. So art was really that key. I mean, but what about students who aren't artistic? Meaning, so we know. Well, let me ask the question: This: How does art help them in that regard? We saw how it helped Sophia. How does art help in combating this rise in mental illness in teens?
That's a good question. A lot of teens um, struggle with finding the words to be able to actually express themselves.
Hmm.
So art and expressive therapy is just a wonderful way in which people can actually um, express themselves without having to find the words.
Mhm.
That we find that even in the fine arts and performing arts, that it really is about taking what's internal and actually, bringing it out.
Mhm.
And one of the therapeutic modalities that is most common in terms of dealing with teen mental health is not just like talk therapy, because
Okay.
that tends to not really, I won't say it's ineffectual, I'll say that it's a mixed bag.
Sure.
But if I get a teen in that is just really has retreated so far within themselves,
Mhm.
which is, pretty much describing depressive type symptoms,
Mhm.
and I give them a piece of paper, it really doesn't matter if they're the next Picasso. What matters is that whatever they project onto that paper
Mhm.
is a way of pulling it out versus having it inside.
And so, what would you, and I probably should have asked this in the beginning, your specialty, right? Because what do we do when we've got young people who may not feel artistic, right? They may not feel like I can't express myself. I can't write music. I can't, play. For my middle son, Cameron, he's a math guy. So math kid. And so he's engineering. He thinks like there's structure and there's this, that, and the other. And he doesn't play, well, he did play the drums in band. But what do you do for teens that may not have that or be as talented as Sophia, where you could just sit down and write a script? That is so dope. Sorry.
Sure, it's getting to know the teen and meeting them where they're at.
Okay.
So the first time that they come in my office, it's really about letting your hair down and just being real with them.
Okay.
I have some that will come in and won't say anything, and so I have to kind of do a little bit of a song and dance to try to figure out, well, what's their thing.
Gotcha.
If it's math, okay, cool. I make a note of that. If it's I have a lot of gamers that come in, and any number of things. So it's about connecting with them right where they're at.
Okay.
And I could pretty much create anything from expressions,
Mhm.
from expressive art to a musical piece. I have a lot that maybe they aren't musicians or they're not artists,
Mhm.
but they have a particular genre of music that speaks to them.
Mhm.
Great. Let me hear your favorite song. And we can, so there's always that creative element that you can use to springboard to just try to connect with them.
Come on, Good Will Hunting. I love it. All right, all right. One of my favorite movies. So Sophia, what would you say to someone, or rather, why was this such an important project for you? I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but why was this such an important project for you? Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Wow, that's good.
It's powerful.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think coming from a teen,
That's powerful.
a teen seeing another teen, if I do it, I mean, I get a chance to talk to kids. I just talked to Marine Leadership Academy for their career day. Good friend of mine, and I always talk about what's called a blueprint. And so I ask teens, "What is the blueprint for your life?" And so I basically ask. We look at a house. So when you look at the blueprint, you can't just go build a house unless you're like those guys on TikTok in the middle of the Bali somewhere with a shovel and a bamboo stick. What I mean? But for most of us, like, what is your foundation, right, for the house? So I equate the foundation to your a belief in yourself, and you have to love yourself. You don't realize how many people don't like themselves, right? And how difficult and what they, especially if they're dealing with trauma at home or the toxic environment, So we help them build up a foundation, and then we say, what are the features, right? What are your strengths and weaknesses? So what are you good at and what are you not good at? I had my son do it. My son, who just finished his junior year at De La Salle, and it was interesting because the things that he thought that he said were strengths, but I was unaware of some of his weaknesses. And so here I am doing this for other kids, and I never did it on my own son. I was like, hey, fill this out. You know what I mean? And I do it for adults as well. But I looked at his weaknesses and I'm like, great, I can help him with that. Right. And then your those are your measurements, not features. And then your features are, what do you want out of your life? Right. What do you want? So in my dream house, I have a great house now. Don't get me wrong. I want my wife to hear this and be like, oh, I have a great house. But my dream house, for one, it's going to be in Dallas, close to my mom and dad. They don't have basements in Dallas, so my man cave is going to be upstairs, but my office is going to be massive because I have a lot of sports paraphernalia. So I'm doing the things now in my blueprint so that I can get those features, right, in my house. And I feel like art, and I played music, piano, I played piano, saxophone, drums. I used to nickname myself Prince because, guitar and everything, So I've always been artistic in that way, right? And I'm very happy to have that, right? My daughter's very artistic. She studied psychology. I know my wife and I gave her a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of data, and I'm pretty sure I did too. But and our middle son's math guy. So we're trying to figure out, when this was going on, we just felt the best thing to do was to have him at home, right? So when we're seeing this going on, Dr. Battle, when it comes to mental health, are we seeing any discrepancies in people of color? Or is this kind of across, sorry, or is this kind of like every teen, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, are pretty much dealing with the same thing? Or are we seeing higher discrepancies in teens of color?
We are seeing higher discrepancies among the Black and Brown community.
Okay.
Some of the more recent research that I've read suggests that even what we know today, that we need to multiply that. Because the whole idea of mental health it was relatively taboo within the Black and Brown community as well. So there is this awakening, this increased conversation around mental health, on top of the cultural components where this was stuff that we did not talk about.
Okay.
And when we talk about therapy and all of that, that's, can be off-putting depending on who you're talking to, and what generation that person is most akin to, because, therapy means telling your business outside of your home. And, traditionally in a lot of cultures and ethnic minority cultures,
keep everything in the house.
Keep your business in the house.
Yeah.
And so now we're saying, no, there are professionals there where you can actually have these conversations. But one of the things that I noticed in my own practice is that the racial upheaval over that happened, the George Floyd incident, it exploded. All of my peers were talking back then about how they were getting all these teens coming in. The Trayvon Martins, teens that were struggling literally when they put on a hoodie. It's not just putting on a hoodie. It was I'm putting on a hoodie. Do these people hate me? Because of, again, that information. It's not, again, 20.
Even though the information was all over the place, and it was, and I'm just going to interject here because sometimes I believe, how did this turn into a thing about hoodies? Right. And so I feel like media, I love media. Trust me, I'm in media. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like media turned this thing into this thing with hoodies. And the next thing you know, you've got the cover of magazine and you've got Black man, I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm like, wait, what? Like, this is not about hoodies. Right. And so, but because they're, young minds, and they're, and now you have parents saying, don't wear your hoodie. I'm like, and then you've got Mark Cuban, like, yeah, I'm afraid of anybody with a hoodie, black or white, doesn't matter. And I'm like, wait, what? We've gotten away from the fact that he was profiled by this guy, and And it was, you know what I'm saying? And so I felt
It
like
wasn't the hoodie.
it wasn't the
It was
hoodie, it was the profiling.
Right.
But again, I felt like media was like, what can we go with? And I felt like young people, I'm pretty sure, were like, and then you even become defiant. I'm going to wear a hoodie, and now that hoodie becomes your way of getting back at whatever. And I feel like a lot of that was compounding onto young people.
Absolutely. And we have to remember that the adolescent brain is still one that is developing. It's a time where there hormones raging
Hmm.
and all of that, but they're really trying to get a better understanding of themselves in the context of peers and socialization.
Hmm.
So hence the reason why COVID just really magnified things that were already grown.
Yeah.
A lot of isolation and all of that stuff that just breeds an environment
Hmm.
of, okay, so now all I have are me, myself, and I, myself, or
Yeah.
in my thoughts. And I don't have that external component necessarily where um, peers are noticing things or able to check you. Or,
Yeah.
you know, why are you sitting in your room in the dark? Well, there was so much of
Sure.
that kind of flew under the radar. And so there was the growth. But the racial upheaval definitely, I think, played a big part
Hmm.
in the Black and Brown community and some of the increased numbers, but also the increased awareness probably brought in increased numbers because now people are talking about it. Um, Parents are more open to reaching out, to
Hmm.
getting their kids help, therapy, all that stuff. So does it mean that the depressive episodes necessarily increase, or is it that people are tapping into access to care now because now it's less taboo? So I think it's a combination of that.
I agree. I mean, and when we look at athletes, they already know if I say anything crazy, I may not be playing basketball anymore. I may not be playing football anymore. I may not be playing hockey anymore. So I have to keep it all in
Mhm.
because then they're like, oh, dude, are you okay? Hey, you're a liability now. We don't want to spend this millions of dollars. So you had a lot of athletes literally dealing with things, even during COVID. I mean, you're talking about athletes making millions of dollars but having issues if they don't have an outlet, right? Everything is shut down. So here you have all this money and you can't do anything, right? And everything is going on TV and you're stuck, right? And I think about that. And Sophia, for you, what would you say? But when you had friends, were you able to communicate with friends who were going through things and you were able to help them out as well? Gotcha. Mhm. Would you say you had a lot of friends who maybe talked to you but didn't talk to their parents, or you could sense things, where they just weren't being open? Did you see quite a bit of that? Right, right. Wow. How would you say? Because you seem like you made it through. I mean, and I feel like made it through is good, right?
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
how would you say? How did that affect you? Having friends, kind of, I gotta call Sophia, right? Put me in your movie. I'm just kidding. Like, how did that affect you being that go-to person or one of the go-to people? Right. Mhm. Hmm. Right. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna take a break here. Can you stay on a little longer? Okay, good. And I know for my son, my daughter was just like, she was good. I mean, she was independent anyway, right? Since she was born. I mean, when she came out, she's like, "What? I'm good." Like, really? Like, you just were born. You know what I mean? So, but we always kept in touch. Like I'm calling. My mother and father would call the kids every week. I just hear, "Hey, grandpa. Yep, still doing good." "Hey, grandma." And I know for my middle son, him being in gaming, him being able to just talk to people all over the world, gaming, right, was able to kind of keep him, kind of ground connected. We had this big thing, can't close your door. I don't care if you are 20, whatever. You know what I mean? So the doors were always open so we can walk by, like, yo, you good? Yeah, dad, I'm good. Just making sure. So those are some of the things that we did. And Dr. Battle, we're going to get in what are signs that parents can look for. But we're going to take a break here right now. So Sophia, stay on. You're going to hear a bunch of commercials and stuff like that. All right. And then we're going to come back at around 10:07 to about, hey, Jay, about 5 minutes, or, hey, Jay, about, oh, he's answering the doorbell. So in about 10:05, we're going to come right back on. So if you guys use the bathroom, go get something to drink, get your Mountain Dew, smart water. All right. And then we'll be back at 10:05. Okay. All right, WVOM family, we'll be back after these messages. Great job, Sophia. Great job. Okay. About 5 minutes. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That was good. It was good. See if she can hear me. Oh no, I don't know how to do that. 5 minutes? Okay. Well, good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Wow. That's so cool. So we're gonna talk about what signs should parents look for if their child is having mental health challenge. Oh, but even before that, how would a parent know what to look for, right? Now, for me, I minored in psychology, and so I'm kind of in tune to some things, right? So, for instance, my youngest son Connor, the one who's in USL, he was he said something, right? We usually have family time every Monday night, and he said something, and I said, "All right, let's go." So he said, "Huh?" And I told my wife, "Hey, we're about to go downtown." We went downtown. We went to Fridays, which is typically one of our family time places. We went to eat at Fridays. We went and played. We went to an arcade at River AMC, and we just kicked it. And we got back home, and he said this was the best day ever.
He said that?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
because I heard something that it triggered something in me. I was like, "Whoa, that didn't sound." And like Sophia was saying, they just don't come out. "Hey, Dad, let me just tell you how I'm feeling."
Right.
But he said something, and I caught it. And my wife's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "Get up. We're about to go to Fridays." Okay. And man, we just killed it. We got back. We were tired. He's like, "This is the best day ever." And I was like,
So that's how you knew you like knocked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think parents, even those that didn't major in psychology or minor, I just think that everybody, I'm a parent, I have my grandkids during COVID. You got to slow down and pay attention so that those moments, because they'll drop hints. It's like Hansel and Gretel, the breadcrumbs are there. But if you are heavily engaged in obsessing over, information.
Yeah.
A lot of parents obsess over information. And then you've got your kid that's being bombarded with information. You can miss those, and it's just a little nugget that they might drop.
I think too, when you, my wife's a teacher, and so a lot of the kids come from single family homes. And if you've got a single mom with 2 kids and she's working 2 jobs, she's not catching any nuggets. She's trying to catch some sleep. She's making sure, did you do any home, clean the dishes, whatever. I'll be back. Don't answer the door. You know what I mean? And so she's going to miss some things not to mention what she may be dealing with.
And that's why too that the adolescents, their community is actually what needs to actually come and support them. So when the community is missing, hence us being in COVID, then that took that dynamic away. So then it does fall on that single mom.
Yeah.
But when they're back in school and so it's the community, the teachers are watching, hopefully. The parents are trying to catch it here or there, but also the peers are.
Yeah.
A lot of, now that we're back together, I can't tell you how many times I have a client say, yeah, I'm here because my best friend turned me in. And it's like, turned you in? Like, is this jail? What? Well, they kind of ratted me out and told my parents I was struggling. So there is a lot of that going on. So things like expressions and just kind of putting that awareness out there, the kids are feeling more empowered to like check each other.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Yeah, and that's what I worry about as far as when my wife, I'm kind of in tune. It's my mom and dad, mostly my mom, just a helicopter mom. She was a stay-at-home mom, you know what I mean? And then so while my dad worked, and so I'm hypersensitive to things, right? So I'm always asking, how are you doing? How's it going, Cameron? He's like, so I'll call Cameron in Florida, and I go, how's it going? I just hear, I'm doing good, Dad, playing a game. Okay.
Where in Florida?
He's in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville, okay.
Yeah, so
my parents are right outside Gainesville.
Okay. Yeah, he was studying at Full Sail University for gaming design. He's a math kid. So he wants to get into gaming development, gaming design, studying computer science. But that was during COVID, right? And it was just, it was hard because he had to go online, and he was not an online person. And so he suffered, so we ended up taking him out, and then I have him in another program now where he's studying, I don't even know the name of it. It's science, tech science, whatever. I was like, but he's excited. He's in Jacksonville. Him and his roommates moved to Jacksonville. And he'll finish this certification. He'll come out making $130,000 a year starting at 22. And I was like, my man, but my daughter, again, majored in psychology, got her master's, was actually thinking about getting her PhD. She wanted to open up her own practice. And so she's able to kind of in tune with things and recognize where she's at. And again, I'm able to kind of self-aware. Okay, what's going on? And then sometimes I miss that. I mean, having a business, working a regular 9 to 5, having a business, and I want to do a story on you too. So I'm launching this 24/7 news media outlet with articles, and you can have your own show if you want. I mean, like radio show and everything. And so I'd love to do a story on you as well. So running that, and as an entrepreneur, I get another business idea. Now I'm starting another. I'm like, what am I doing? So that's my coping. Like I'll just go build a website. You know what I mean? I'll go build an app. And I'm like, what are you doing? And we're launching tech startups. We have, like I was telling Sophia, we're about to have this green room where students who are film and television can just dream. So I'm going to contract Sophia out to write some scripts for these small businesses. But I mean, I think, my problem is, and I can recognize that I just get busy and I just start doing a lot of stuff.
And that's actually a common coping misstep for a lot of adults.
Yeah.
Is the busier you are, guess what you really don't have to do? You don't have to deal with the emotions.
Yep.
Like you just think. I had someone tell me today, like I get really super busy so that I don't have to worry about how lonely I am.
Wow.
But instead of pausing long enough to okay, you're lonely, let's talk about the loneliness. Instead, it's like, no, I'm going to do this. I got another job, all that.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah, it's something. It is. And then too, I just did an interview on NPR radio. I'm supposed to do one on NBC5 for my company because we're the first Black tech and manufacturing incubator opening on the far south side of Chicago. We're launching Black tech startups in the community because one of the things I believe we'll be able to do is when we bring high paying jobs to the community, well, that single mom isn't doing 2 or 3 jobs and a side hustle and doing hair on the side and whatever. She only has to work one job. That means the kids have less chaos in the house. And we're the first company to do it. We're also the first one to allow the everyday person to become a stakeholder and invest in these startups before they launch or go public. So now we're able to launch startups, but now individuals can now become an investor and without being a millionaire, right? $500, and now you share in the equity. So now you have this. We're bringing this thing to the communities, and so Michelle Relaford from NBC5, I got a chance to tell her she was at my friend's coffee shop. They're doing this morning blend in the morning, and it was at my friend's coffee shop. So I go to support him. I've been up since 5. Okay, I've been up since 5, and she's like, "We need to do a story on you." I'm like, "Okay, I think you're right." So now we're gonna be on Channel 5. I'm ready, boss. All right, Sophia, 30 seconds. Hey girl, I love this song. So WVON knows when this comes on, we're about to come right back in this song and the time. Fire fountain. This song is like 30 years old. I can hear this song.
So what's the name of your business? And how might one?
What did you say?
What's the name of your company?
Oh, 1921. So 1921 co-working and incubator.
How might one invest?
Oh, I'll give you my cell. Matter of fact, I'll give you my card and then I'll email you all the information. Okay, I think we're ready, boss. Well, I don't have my headphones on. There you go.
Thank you.
I don't know why I give it to
Here
you.
you go.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Is your email on here?
Yep.
Okay, I will send you some information tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, boss. WVON family, we are back. You know, that's my jam right there. So, when that comes on, we're about to go back into the show. We have an incredible show tonight. Incredible guest. I got to give it up to my youngest guest ever, Sophia, who also happens to go to the same school as went to the same school. That my son, his last day, he was so excited. Took his final. He was done at 11 o'clock. He's like, "Dad, don't forget, I get out at 11 today." I'm like, "I got you." Then he texts me, "Dad, I get out at 11 today." I'm like, "I will be there at 11, right?" And then I text him, "I'm outside." "All right, I'm just making sure." Anyway, love that kid. But we're talking about Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're talking about mental health among teens. One of our shows early this month, we talked about teen suicide, and we learned the number of teens who've actually tried to commit suicide, meaning they failed, and because of mental health and depression and things going on at home. And that's why I'm so excited about what Walgreens is doing. I can't wait to talk to Lauren and write a story on this. And I'm so super happy to have someone like Sophia, who's an artist as well. I almost studied theater in school, but my dad was like, you're going to study business or something. All right, but Dad, I'm an actor. And I went into this dramatic prose, and he just looked at me like, yeah, no. Not if I'm paying for it. I'm like, Doc, got it. So anyway, so I love the arts. I love theater. I love acting. I've had an agent before. I auditioned for commercials. I missed out on a Sidney Poitier movie years ago because my friend, who's an actress, she was in Love Jones, and her daughter did a national Subway commercial. And I mean, their whole family, except for her husband, he does plays. But anyway, and she's like, shave off, look as young. I already look like, you can't tell now, but like years ago, I looked super duper young. So when I shaved off she told me to shave my mustache. I did all that. I go into the audition. They're like, wow, you don't look old enough. I was auditioning for Sidney Poitier's son. I mean, Sidney Poitier's son, but I didn't look old enough because my friend told me to shave my mustache, and then I didn't look young enough to be one of the students. It was crazy. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But I had an agent. I was like, "Yo, I got an agent." I was a waiter. You know what I mean? It was fun. My dad was like, mm-hmm. I was like, but anyway. So we're talking about mental health and how the arts can help. And before we left, Dr. Battle and I, we were all talking. Dr. Battle, what signs should parents look for if their child is having a mental health challenge or having mental health challenges?
Changes in behavior, where more secretive,
Mm-hmm.
changes in sleep patterns,
Mm.
changes in eating patterns. Kids usually it's like Hansel and Gretel. They drop breadcrumbs. You just have to be ready.
Okay.
You have to be vigilant in terms of picking up on the hints.
Okay.
But usually it's more outward changes like behavioral changes that will cue you in.
Gotcha. Okay. What would you say, Sophia, if you were going through anything? Were you able to communicate with your parents, or did you feel like, hey, look, I got this class in Michigan, I got my art. Was it easier for you to talk to your parents, or did you find that a challenge at all, or no? Hmm. Awesome. And I think that's something that parents need to. I mean, we had an open policy at our house, right? We had, um, every for a while it was every Monday. It was just the easiest day, where we just kind of sit down after dinner at the table. Okay, how are you feeling? Let it all out. Dad, I felt like you yelled at me, whatever, and all I could say was, "I'm sorry," or right? Like, okay, because this is a time of being open, right? There's no punishment, there's no lashing out, there's no, well, why do you think I yelled at you? You think I just come in the house yelling at people? Can't say that. You just have to take it and be like, wow, okay, apologize. So we set this culture of I can talk to dad and mom about anything. But I think, like Sophia said, even with that set up, they're not just going to run and be like, yo, so let me tell you how I'm feeling, dad. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to draw that out. Sophia, real quickly, what would you say to someone who is considering entering the Expressions Challenge next year? Hmm. Hmm. Wow. And real quick, Sophia, because I know you did the direct. What other kind of expressions did they have in the evening? Okay, sure. Okay, wow. And you said, "Hey, listen, go for it." What other advice would you give them as far as now? Yours came from something personal. You wanted to help people. Are these designed for people to help other people, or is it designed for them to be able to express themselves? And you just kind of said, "I'm going to express myself, but I'm also going to use this to help people." Okay, gotcha. Right. Wow. Sophia, who's one of your favorite actors or directors? Okay. All right. I think I've heard of her. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Which is gonna be wow. That's so cool. I just found out that the guy who did the Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home, like started out on this like TV show as a kid almost, whatever. And then he did like two kind of bad, movies, and then he wrote the script for Spider-Man Far From Home. huge box office, and then he goes back to do like another dud. You know what I mean? But he's probably like, hey, I just did Spider-Man. I can write about a book if I want. You know what I mean? Like, you know. So and what actor would you or actress would you like to work with? Okay. Oh. Yeah. Oh man. All right, we got it. We got to hook that up. I'm gonna see if I know some people. If I can, hook this up there. Yeah, we're gonna have you directing some commercials anyway. Anyway, so we'll stay on real quick, Dr. Battle. What should parents do if they think their child could need help?
The first thing is to try to talk with them.
Okay.
And offer space if they are still unwilling or not feeling like they are able to open up and be vulnerable with them.
Mm-hmm.
Offer space to get them help. Bring them to a mental health professional. Tap into other areas within the community, within the family, whatever it takes. But I think the first thing is just to be straight up and ask them, are you struggling?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they can't explain how, if you could get, yeah, I am, or not really, or whatever. I think that having that dialogue and not being afraid, because a lot of parents don't want to open up that door because that I call it the parent guilt kind of follows behind all that. So, then they're, oh, what did I do? I'm doing the best I can. So bringing it up and being upfront with them, I think is the best mechanism. And trying really, really hard not to make it about you, the parent.
Wow. And I think that's really, really, and I'm sorry, but Facebook WVO Family Expressions Challenge. Thank you so much, Peggy, for putting that up there. Mildred Banks says, good Thursday evening. I'm watching and listening to the show from the south side of Chicago. Rosemore in the house, 49 degrees here. I know, right, girl? I hear you. Somebody said, this doctor is so good. How do we reach her? Is there a website? Please share.
Absolutely.
We'll go right ahead and share, Doc.
www.battleclinicalservices.com.
And I'm going to type that in here, Battle. Hold on. I know, I'm just making up words. Hold on real quick.
www.battleclinicalservices.com.
Bam. You will find her right there. Oh, someone just did it for me. Okay, good. They are good. I tell you, I got the best listeners. Oh, I'm not talking to the mic. Sorry. Yeah, that's good. What's up, Glenn Hayes? I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of this segment. I'm excited. Sophia, thank you very much. Super proud of you. You are a meteor. All right. So you're in family for now, forever, right? And we're gonna make sure we stay in touch. I'm gonna get your information from Miss Crawford, okay? Because we're gonna do a story on you on our website. You and Lauren, I think that's phenomenal what you're doing. Dr. Battle, we're definitely gonna do a story on you, and then you and I are gonna talk a little bit afterwards, in ways that we're gonna move the community forward. Facebook Live, WVM Family. We've got Dishing the G with G Main and Miss Moore, and they have an incredible guest in the studio tonight. He's a singer. I'm not even going to try and sing his songs. It's old school. I know a couple of them, but it's going to be a great show. Continue to listen in, and thank you very much. We'll be right back after these messages. Thanks, Sophia. All right, you have a good one, okay? Awesome. All right, let me take this off. Facebook family and friends. The 1921 show is going to end our stream. Thank you so much for checking in. You can still listen live on WVON, AM 1690, and on WVON Facebook. You're going to hear Dishing the G. Dishing the G. Oh man, I just messed up his whole segment. My bad, bro. Dishing the G with G Main and more. I just messed that up, bro. I just messed that up, man. But they're gonna come. Are they here yet? I thought I saw them.
Yeah, they
Okay.
So you want them to come in now? Or?
Yeah. Let me get out of here because I told them they're gonna come on at 10:30.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So I'm about to pack up and then go.
Yep, you're good.
And I'm gonna leave, so they're gonna stay here and close everything out.
Okay.
I told them about 11 o'clock, the commercial,
Right.
and then they're ready to go.
Okay, so they're gonna take the 10:30
till
all
12.
the way through.
Yep.
Okay.
I just gotta leave. I've been up since 5 o'clock,
Hey,
man.
man, go get you some rest.
Bro, I ain't even rested. I gotta finish 2 websites, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, bro.
No worries.
I know, man. All right. Oh man, so let me disconnect this. So we can talk. I can what am I doing? Okay.
If only China disease was this easy to recognize, perhaps then more people would report it. If you even suspect